In the shadow of the mighty Karakoram Range, where the air is sharp and rivers rush with glacial vigor, lies a small, humble village called Sadpara. Surrounded by some of the world's most formidable peaks, this village was home to a boy named Mohammad Ali Sadpara. The mountains that towered over his childhood weren't just a backdrop, they were silent teachers, constant companions, and ultimately the stage where he would rise, not merely as a mountaineer, but as a legend, a childhood forged in the mountains. Ali's early life in Sadpara was one of simplicity, struggle, and survival. Days began at dawn with chores that demanded strength and endurance. He would traverse rugged trails barefoot, collect firewood from steep slopes, and help tend to livestock in the freezing winters. The mountains taught him lessons that no classroom could: how to listen to the wind's whispers, predict the weather by the shape of the clouds, and respect the rhythm of nature. From porter to climber, Ali's journey to the peaks didn't start with ambition, but necessity. Like many young men in Gilgit-Baltistan, he became a high-altitude porter, carrying supplies for climbers attempting to conquer the Karakoram's legendary mountains. It was grueling work, hauling heavy loads on treacherous terrain at altitudes where every breath felt like a fight. For most porters, this was a means to earn a livelihood, but for Ali, it became something more. He was fascinated by the climbers he accompanied. He observed how they prepared, how they moved, and how they spoke about the mountains with reverence. Soon, Ali wasn't just a porter, he became an integral part of expeditions. He helped fix ropes, navigate treacherous paths, and make critical decisions when things went wrong. Climbers began to see him as more than a helper. They saw a man whose intuition and skill matched their own. A dream called Nanga Parbat. For Ali, Nanga Parbat, the killer mountain, was more than a challenge. It was a dream. Towering at 8,126 meters, it had claimed many lives and remained unconquered in winter. In 2016, Ali joined forces with Italian climber Simone Moro and Spanish mountaineer Alex Chicon to attempt the impossible, the first winter ascent of Nanga Parbat. The expedition was a battle against nature. Temperatures plunged to 50°C, and the winds were fierce enough to strip exposed skin. Every step was a struggle, every breath a victory. Days stretched into weeks as they endured frostbite, exhaustion, and isolation. Yet Ali's resolve never wavered. He carried loads when others faltered, broke trail through waist-deep snow, and encouraged his team when morale was at its lowest. On February 26, 2016, they reached the summit. Nanga Parbat, a mountain that had defied generations, was conquered in winter for the first time. Ali Sadpara returned home a hero, celebrated not only for his skill, but for his unyielding spirit. His achievement was not just personal, it was a moment of pride for Pakistan, showcasing the strength and resilience of its people, a climber with a heart of gold. Despite his growing fame, Ali remained deeply grounded. Back in Sadpara, he lived simply, often spending his days helping neighbors or teaching his son, Sajid Ali Sadpara, the art of mountaineering. Sajid accompanied him on expeditions, learning not just the technical skills of climbing, but the values his father embodied: humility, patience, and respect for the mountains. Ali's humanity set him apart. He worked with climbers from all over the world, and his warm personality bridged cultural and linguistic divides. His laughter, his stories, and his camaraderie left lasting impressions on everyone he climbed with. For Ali, the mountains weren't just a place to prove one's strength. They were a place to forge connections and create memories. K2, the ultimate challenge. For Ali, K2, the Savage Mountain, was the ultimate test. He had climbed it before, but winter presented an entirely new level of danger. No one had ever submitted K2 in winter. Many had tried. Many had perished. In the winter of 2021, Ali set out with Icelandic climber John Snorri and Chilean mountaineer Juan Pablo Moore to make history. Sajid joined the team as well, hoping to support his father in this monumental task. The expedition was grueling. The cold was so intense it froze water bottles solid and numbed fingers through the thickest gloves. The winds roared like a beast, testing their resolve at every step. At the bottleneck, a treacherous choke point near the summit, Sajid's oxygen regulator failed. Ali, ever the protective father, insisted Sajid descend for his safety. It was the last time Sajid would see his father, the silence of the summit. On February 5, 2021, Ali Sadpara, John Snorri, and Juan Pablo Moore were last seen near the summit of K2. Then they vanished. Days turned into weeks as search and rescue teams scoured the mountain using helicopters, drones, and satellite technology. The climbing community around the world held its breath, hoping for a miracle. Months later, their bodies were discovered near the bottleneck. The news was devastating, but it brought closure. Ali Sadpara had given his life pursuing his passion, leaving behind a legacy of courage and resilience. His story became a part of K2, the mountain he loved and respected, a national hero. For Pakistan, Ali Sadpara is more than a mountaineer. He is a symbol of the country's indomitable spirit. He showed the world that greatness doesn't come from wealth or privilege, but from grit, passion, and perseverance. His life inspired millions, proving that even the most extraordinary dreams are achievable with hard work and courage, the eternal spirit of the mountains. Ali Sadpara's story is not just about climbing mountains, it's about conquering fears, breaking barriers, and embracing life's challenges with an open heart. His connection with the mountains was spiritual, almost poetic. He didn't see them as something to be defeated, but as partners in his journey. As the winds whistle through the peaks of the Karakoram, it's easy to imagine Ali's spirit among them, urging climbers to respect the mountains, cherish their lives, and push beyond their limits. His legacy is etched not just in the records he broke, but in the hearts he touched. A legacy without limits. Ali Sadpara didn't just leave behind summits conquered, he left behind a story of human potential. From a humble porter to a national hero, his journey reminds us that greatness isn't about where you start, but how far you're willing to go. The peaks he climbed are now silent witnesses to his courage, and the valleys below echo with his legacy. Through his son, his village, and the countless lives he inspired, Ali Sadpara lives on. His story is a reminder to dream big, climb high, and embrace the journey, even when the path is steep. For Ali, the mountains were life itself, and in their eternal presence, he found his immortality. If this story moved you, make sure to hit the like button and share it with others who love tales of courage and perseverance. Don't forget to leave a comment about how Ali Sadpara's legacy inspires you or your thoughts on this incredible journey.